Ruth, what advice would you give somebody who's looking to settle down?
Oh gosh, I think it depends on the age, and I think if you're in your late 20s and early 30s, or even in your mid to late 30s, I think trying to find a partner that fits your criteria is very hard, especially nowadays with the rise of online dating. And what I would say is go back to that criteria and make sure you are realistic about it. A lot of women, in my experience, and I see a lot of women, their list of what they want in a man is like huge, and sometimes that is incredibly unrealistic and very difficult to achieve, and hence every person they meet doesn't meet one or two things in those criteria. If it doesn't meet any of those criteria, fair enough, but just be mindful of not disregarding some people. It sometimes takes more than one or two dates to really get to know somebody, and often a lot of men are not usually themselves. David, you'll be able to know this better. In the first couple of dates, they're a little bit cagey.
Men take a while to feel comfortable opening up a little bit when they're dating. So, and far too many women, and we know this with our daughter who's 30, is they just write somebody off after the first date. And what we would say is never just use the first date as the one and be all. Try a second date if you feel there's any chance. Obviously on the first date, if the person's just
completely no good,
it is a no-go, then you don't go back.
Absolutely.
But for a second date, we would say absolutely, try it on a second date. Maybe the person was just really anxious and they'll open up a bit more.
But the other thing I would say is that any relationship, there's always got to be a compromise. You're never going to get it 100% right. And so what I would say is if it's 70% there, then there's things that you can work on. And so what I would say is, yes, dating is incredibly hard nowadays. I'm not saying it's easy, but try not to dismiss people quickly. Give them a chance is what I would say. As David said, if it's absolutely a no-go, then it's a no-go. But if there's something there that you like about them, try and see whether you can do a second date or possibly a third date, and then make the decision. But again,
anyway,
keep it realistic.
And keep it short. That's enough. So
short.
love to hear your comments. Put them in the comment section. Check out.
How hard are you finding it?
With dating.
Yeah.
We know for youngsters, and we keep saying,
good.
Thank goodness we're not in our 30s trying to settle down.
Yeah.
It's so hard. But put your comments in and check out our other TikToks and all things relationship, and YouTube and Instagram.
Love to hear from you.
Bye.